Ram Ram Ram. Let us start with the Mangala Shlokas. Gururev gatihi gurumev bhaje gurunaiv sahasmi namo gurave na guroh paramam shishurasmi guroho matirasti gurau mama pahi guro ब्रवीमि संस्कृतं वाचा ध्यायामि संस्कृतं हृदा कुर्वे सेवाञ्च कायेन वन्दे संस्कृतमातरम् यो नरः संस्कृतव्योम्नि ह्यालयं रमते मुदा संस्कृतिं चैव संस्कारं विन्दते नात्र संशयः। राम राम राम। नमः सर्वेभ्यः। I welcome you all warmly to the fourth batch of Learn to Chant Sri Lalita Sahasranama Stotram live webinar course presented by Vyoma Linguistic Labs Foundation. So today is the first day introductory class for this course, the 19th of July. The classes will be held every Tuesday and Friday at the same time, evening 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. The teacher of the course is Smt.Sandhya Rajesh. She has completed her MA in Alankara Shastra from Central Sanskrit University. She is an ardent devotee of Devi who has engaged herself in Devi Upasana since several years. And during the time, she has internalized the Lalita Sahasranama Stotram as well. She has more than 20 years of experience in teaching shlokas and Sanskrit. She has also successfully completed 3 batches of Learn to Chant Sri Lalita Sahasranama Stotram through Vyoma, impacting over 5,700 students. So those of you who are new to learning the Lalita Sahasranama Stotram, be assured that you are at the right place and in the right hands. So on behalf of Vyoma and all the participants here, I would like to welcome Srimati Sandhya Rajesh. Namaste, Sandhya ma'am. Just a few instructions for joining the class. So each day I'll just share my screen. So the first step is to visit our website, sanskritfromhome.org, and you click on login here, the right hand side, and you have to enter your credentials, your email address, and also your password. This is for those of you who are logging in for the first time. So once you log in, you will be taken directly to the student dashboard. So once you log in, you will be taken to the student dashboard. So in the student dashboard, under today's classes section, you will see the screenshot that I have attached on the screen. You will get the option of join now. So once the teacher has started the class, you will get the join now option available. So you can click on join now and you will be directly taken to the Zoom webinar. So this is how you will be joining the class each day. And just to make it clear, there will be no link provided for the class. Each day you have to come to the student dashboard and click on join now to enter the class. Some basic webinar guidelines. You can join from your PC, Android or iOS devices. And in case you have any queries in the class, you can use the raise hand option that is given, and also the Q&A option, because you will be on mute and your video will be off by default. So just use the raise hand option so that at the end of the class, when the teacher is ready to take up questions, we can unmute you and you can ask your questions. You can also type your questions in the Q&A box. And it is recommended that you use headphones for a better listening experience. We have some exciting news. So those of you who are not aware, we have Sanskrit from Home beta version mobile app, which has been launched and is ready for use. It is 100% ad free. You can, using the app, you can easily take classes from anywhere, anytime. You can access all the course content. You can enroll to the courses. You can attend the live webinars. You can even take up assessments. You'll get your class notifications and announcements. So all of that you can do on your mobile phones. And we have both the Android version as well as the iOS version. The QR codes for downloading are on the screen. I'll also be sharing the link to download the apps in the chat box. So in case you have any questions, you can contact us through our email sanskritfromhome@vyomalabs.in. Another note is ensure that all other apps that use internet on your PC, on your mobile phone, or other tabs on your browser are closed before you join the class. This is to ensure that there are no audio or video lags. So without further delay, I would like to hand over the proceedings to Sandhya ma'am.
Dhanyavadaha Mahodaya. Let me share my screen. Namaste to everyone. My humble pranams to everyone who has joined this course today. A warm welcome, a heartfelt swagatam to all the attendees, and thanks to the Vyoma team for initiating this course. I would also like to welcome the panelists Meenakshi and Sai Smriti. So before we start, let us have a small prayer for Guru Vandanam. Gurureva gatir gurumeva bhaje gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave na gurov paramam shishurasmi guroho matirasti gurau mama pahi guru. Once again, namaste, namaskarams, pranams to all the attendees. So before we start, I just want to talk about the structure, like today's, what the agenda, today's structure. We will start with a very short introduction to Sri Lalita Sahasranama Stotram. We will then move on to the pronunciation tips, a very basic level of pronunciation tips, and then the structure of the class. And finally, we will start with the Dhyanam, which is the Sri Lalita Sahasranama Stotram. So before we start learning this Lalita Sahasranama Stotram, I would like to offer my humble pranams to my Guru, who taught me this stotram, this powerful stotram, Sri Ramaswamy Shastri Mahodaya, from whom I learned Sri Lalita Sahasranama Stotram, and Sri Panjakrishnan Mahodaya, who also taught me this stotram. So with this, let us begin our journey towards learning Lalita Sahasranama Stotram. As you all might be aware that Lalita Sahasranama Stotram is part of Brahmanda Purana, and it comes in the Lalitopakyana. This stotram was composed on the command of Lalitambika herself to Vashinyadi Vagdevatas. And this knowledge, this stotram was imparted by Bhagavan Hayagriva to Agastya Maharshi. So before imparting this stotra to Agastya Maharshi, Bhagavan Hayagriva narrated the Lalita Charitram, Lalitopakyanam, and he immediately did not impart this knowledge to Agastya Maharshi, the stotram part. So Agastya Maharshi then requested Bhagavan Hayagriva as to why this was not covered. And looking at his immense bhakti and asakti to learn, Bhagavan Hayagriva passed on, imparted this Sahasranama Stotram to Agastya Maharshi. So this is the background of how this came further. And if we look at this background, we understand that, you know, the stotram itself was composed on the command of Devi and was composed by Vashinyadi Vagdevatas and was imparted by Bhagavan Hayagriva, who is the Lord of Knowledge, and to one of the very prominent Maharshis, Agastya Maharshi himself. So this itself is an indication of how powerful this stotram is. Every name in Lalita Sahasranama Stotram is very unique. It does not get repeated. It's very unique. And it is also believed that we can learn this stotram only if the Devi wishes us to do. So today we have all joined here, gathered here to start learning Lalita Sahasranama Stotram. And that is an indication of the blessings of Lalita Devi. So let us progress with our learning from here. There are a lot of benefits of chanting Lalita Sahasranama Stotram, curing of many diseases, washing off of sins, and it is as pure as, you know, the taking bath in Ganga river. So that is the kind of immense benefits that the chanting of Lalita Sahasranama Stotram brings to all of us. With this, let us move to the next part, which is the pronunciation aspects. Why pronunciation is important. So for any language for that matter, having a correct pronunciation is very important to make it comprehensible, understandable. This is an important aspect for any of the languages that we take. So we need to focus on things like where we need to put more effort when we use specific letters, syllables. Then where we need to prolong a letter, where we should not prolong, where we need to split a word. Let's say, for example, there is a big stotram, there is a big line, where we need to take a pause, or where does the sandhi happen? So there are specific rules that we need to follow when it comes to pronunciation aspect. So even a small change in the way we pronounce can actually change the meaning of the word or the stotram itself very much. So I've just listed few examples here. Phalam means fruit. In the word phalam, pha is a mahaprana. I'll talk more about it a little later. But if instead of saying phalam, if I say palam, that means meat. So the entire meaning is changed from fruit to meat. Bala Chandraha means young moon. Bala Chandraha means Shankara, Shiva. So ba and bha. Shiva is Parameshwara, Shiva, Shankara. Shiva is Parvati Devi. So with the, Shiva, there is no prolonging of the letter here, which means Shiva. Shiva Dirgha, which means Devi. So this way, the meaning of the word can change if we change the way we pronounce the words. Most of you would have come across the Varnamala in regional languages, or if you have learned Sanskritam in Samskrita. And if you have attended other courses in Vyoma, you might have seen this chart also. So I will spend few minutes here just touching upon the important aspects. So Varnaha, Varnamala. So what happens here is the division or the classification of Varnaha is shown. So first and foremost, it is the Swaraha. Swaraha, vowels. So Swaraha is further classified into Hrasvaha, Dirghaha and Plutaha. So the Swaras, the vowels stand on themselves. That is, they can be pronounced independently. So Swayam Rajante. So that is why they are called as Swaraha. Then we have Ayogavahaha, which is again classified into 4. Anuswaraha, Visargaha, Jivhamuliyaha, Upadhmaniyaha. Then we have Vyanjanani, which are the consonants. Consonants are classified into Vargiya Vyanjanani and Avargiya Vyanjanani. Vargiya Vyanjanani falls in the groups Vargas. That is why it is called as Vargiya. 5 Vargas as listed here. Then we have the Avargiya Vyanjanani, which are the 8 letters, which are at the end of the Varnamala, Yara, Lava, Shasha, Saha. So they don't belong to this Varga, so they are Avargiya Vyanjanani. And then we have Alpa Prana and Maha Prana Aksharas, which are pronounced with less effort and more effort, more air or more prana, we call it as. So this is a basic Varnamala chart, and we will try to dwell little more detail into some of the important aspects which is relevant for our chanting course. So we have Swaraha, vowels. Swayam Rajante iti Swaraha. That means they shine, they can be pronounced independently. They are the Swaras. That is the vowels. So which are those vowels? A, I, U, U, R, R, L, E, I, O, Au. These are the vowels. If you look at this verse over here, the shloka, Ekamatro bhavet hrasvaha, dvimatro dirgha uchyate, trimatrastu plutogneyaha, vyanjanantu ardhamatrakam. So if you see, the word matra is repeated, right? What is this? This is a time taken to blink our eyelid once. So when we pronounce a Hrasvasvara, when we pronounce a Dirghasvara, what is the time it takes is what it is trying to explain. So when we pronounce a short vowel, Hrasvaha, it takes one matra kala, which is the time taken to blink our eyelids once. To pronounce a Dirghasvara, we take two matra kalas, that is Vimatro Dirgha Uchyate. Pluto, the third classification under these swaras, takes three matra kalas. Then we have Vyanjanam. Vyanjanam generally takes the help of these swaras to pronounce completely, to make it Purnakshara. Vyanjanam, the consonant will take Ardha matra kala, half. So, from the course perspective, we are more concerned about the Hrasvaha, Dirghaha, and the consonants currently. So, Hrasvasvaraha takes one matra kala to pronounce, and A, I, U, R, and L. These are short vowels or Hrasvasvaraha. Dirghasvaraha, long vowels, take two matra kalas to pronounce, and A, I, U, R, E, I, O, Au. These are all long vowels. So this is about the Swaraha. Then we have the Vyanjanani. Vyanjanani consonants, they take half matra kala to pronounce, Ardha matrakam. So we have two classifications in Vyanjanani, Vargeya Vyanjanani and Avargeya Vyanjanani. Vargeya Vyanjanani, we have 5 vargas: Kavarga, Chavarga, Tavarga, Tavarga, and Pavarga. K, K, G, G, N, Ch, Ch, J, J, Nya, Ta, Th, Da, Dha, N, Ta, Th, Da, Dha, N, Pa, Pa, Ba, Bha, Ma. So these are the Vargeya Vyanjanani. And then we have the Avargeya Vyanjanani, that is Ya, R, L, V, Sh, Sh, Sa, Ha. We also have Anunasika Aksharani, which are the nasal consonants, which are nothing but the 5th letter of the each varga. The 5th letter of the each of these 5 vargas, which is the Vargeya Vyanjanani, they are called as Anunasika Aksharani, the nasal consonants. So if you look at the, any regional language, if you look at, you might have come across Gunitaksharam. Gunitaksharam means a Vyanjanam when it combines with a Swara. So for example, if we take the word Ramaha, in this, if we split this, R plus A is Ra. This is a Gunitakshara. Similarly, M plus Aha, Maha. So a Vyanjanam is combined with a Swaraha. So we get a Gunitaksharam. So let us look at an example. I have taken some examples from the Lalita Sahasranama. So if we look at this example, Mata is there. Ma Didgha. So M plus A. It's a prolonged vowel. A Didghasvara. M is a Vyanjana. So M plus A, Ma, this is a Gunitakshara. Similarly, T plus A, Ta, Mata, Dirgha, again Ta is a Gunitakshara. So if I take Chi, Chidagni in the second line, Chi, Ch plus E, Chi. This is a Gunitakshara. So Ch, the Vyanjanam Ch is combined with E Swara, Chidagni. Okay. Deva Karya, in Deva, the plus Ye, Deva. So Vyanjanam plus Swara. It's a Gunitakshara. So this is how the Gunitakshara is formed. Why it is important, like I said earlier, it is essential for us to follow where we need to prolong a letter, where we need not prolong a letter. So in case of Shri Mata, so everything is a Dirgha here. Shri Mata, Dirgha letters, long vowels are there. And in case of, if you look at Chi, it's a short vowel here, Ch plus E. So we need to observe carefully where we need to prolong, where we need not prolong. So let us look at the next part, Ayogavahaha. Ayogavahaha, as we saw, are four: Anuswaraha, Visargaha, Jivhamuliyaha, and Upadhmaniyaha. Anuswaraha is represented by the symbol, the dot on the top of the letter, Visargaha by two dots which we put next to the letter, like for example, Aha. Jihwamuliyaha is represented by this symbol. I'll talk about this more in the upcoming slide. Then we have the Upadhmaniyaha in the same way. So what is Anuswaraha? So Anuswaraha, as you see, is represented in this, as shown in this symbol. It's a dot on the letter. This is called as an Anuswara. Swaram anuprayujyate iti Anuswaraha. So it comes along with the vowels like im, etc. So Anuswara can be used only when the following letter is a consonant. What it means? So before I tell you about this, let us look at the examples listed below. Na guroho paramam shishurasmi guroho is there. So here paramam, if you see this word paramam, let me use a highlighter. If you see this example, paramam, so there is a dot on the top, right? Anuswara. The next letter here is Sha, which is a consonant. So when there is a consonant after the Anuswara, then we put a dot on the top, that is this Anuswara. Let us say, if there is Swara, like shown in this third line, Aham atra asmi, A is a Swara, and we have Ma. So we write the Vyanjanam, the Ma here, when we represent Aham atra asmi. So Ma is there. We do not put a dot on the top here because the next letter is a Swara and not a consonant. So that is the difference which you see in scripts when you wonder why there in some cases there is a dot on the top. In some cases the consonant Ma is mentioned. The reason is the representation of the script is like this. So whenever there is a consonant after the Anuswara, then we put a dot on the top. Whenever there is a Swara, then we write the Vyanjanam M. So this is about Anuswaraha. When it comes to Anuswara, there is another important pronunciation rule that we follow in most of our courses, which is called as Varga Panchamam. Generally, this is an optional rule. However, it is a best practice, so it is good to follow this in our chanting of all kinds of stotras. So what does it say? It's basically when an Anuswara is followed by any Vargiya Vyanjana. Which are the Vargiya Vyanjanas? The 5 Vargas: Kavarga, Chavarga, Tavarga, Tavarga, and Pavarga. So when an Anuswara is followed by a Vargiya Vyanjana, the Anuswara is replaced by the 5th letter of that particular Varga. So let us look at an example which makes it more clear. Now, in this verse, if you see in the word Sinduraruna Vigraham, there is a Anuswara, and after this Anuswara, we have a Vyanjana. Trinayanam th is there. So, there is a Anuswara which is followed by th, which is a Vargiya Vyanjana. So, what is the fifth letter of this Tavarga? The fifth letter of Tavarga is ta, tha, the, dha, na. So, the Anuswara is now replaced by n. So, when we chant this verse, we are going to pronounce this as Sinduraruna Vigrahan Trinayanam. Okay, so let us look at another example. Now, in this case, Trinayanam and we have Manikya. So, we have a Anuswara followed by Ma. Ma is in Pavarga and fifth letter of Pavarga is Ma only. So, here Trinayanam Manikya Maulis Purat. So, we are going to chant the Anuswara. Let us look at another example in the third line here. That is the Panibhya Malipurna Ratna Chashakam. So, we have Anuswara which is followed by Ra. Does Ra come under Vargiya Vyanjana? No, it is a Avargiya Vyanjana. So, we are not going to use Varga Panchama when there is a Avargiya Vyanjana after the Anuswara. So, this can be chanted as Panibhya Malipurna Ratna Chashakam Raktotpalam. Okay. Now, let us look at the next line. We have Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanam. There is a Anuswara followed by Dha, which is again a Vyanjana. Dha comes in which Varga? Ta, tha, the, dha. So, Tavarga. Which is the fifth letter of Tavarga is Na. So, when we chant this, we can replace this Anuswara with Na. Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanan Dhyayet. If we don't take a pause after this charana, we have to replace this Anuswara with N, the fifth letter of Tavarga. So, this is about Varga Panchama. Now, let us move to the next part. Visargaha. So, we all know Visargaha represented by two dots. That is aha, ihi, uhu. So, generally, Visarga takes the pronunciation of the last most letter. So, if you look at these examples, Harihi. So, ihi, I. The swara here is I, Harihi. Guruhu, U. So, Visarga comes after U. Harehe. So, it takes the pronunciation of the last most letter. With respect to Visarga, whenever the Visarga is followed by Sa, like in this case, Shantihi, and we have Swastimati. So, in this case, the Visarga takes the form of additional Sa. So, Shantihi Swastimati, when we are chanting this, we chant this as Shantis Swastimati. Shantis Swastimati. So, this is when a Visarga is followed by Sakaraha. Then we have Jihva Muliyaha. So, when a Visarga is followed by or after Visarga, if there is Ka or Kha, that is, we have a Visarga and we have Ka or Kha. So, in this case, we will be pronouncing this as Mahasakti Kundalini. If you are pronouncing this as the complete Visarga, Mahasakti Kundalini. However, because of this particular rule, and after this Visarga, since Ka is there, we are going to chant this as Mahasakti Kundalini. So, half Visarga we are chanting here. Then we have the Upadhvaniyaha. This is similar to the previous one. The only difference is after Visarga, in this case, we have Pa, Pa or Pa. So, we have Visarga and then we have Pa or Pa. So, even here, the pronunciation will be not Tushtihi Pushti. No, we will pronounce this or we'll chant this as Tushtif Pushti. Tushtif Pushti. So, Visarga is not pronounced or is not chanted fully in this case. However, when a visarga is succeeded by ksha, the letter ksha, visargaha plus ksha, in that case, we will chant complete visarga. We don't make it half visarga, or we don't combine. We are going to chant this as sukhaha kshami, sukhaha kshami. So we will chant full visarga. So in the previous case, when the visarga followed by ka, succeeded by ka, we did not chant the full visarga. We said mahasakti kundalini. And when after visarga we had pa or pa, we said tushti pushti. However, when there is a letter ksha after the visarga, we are going to chant complete visarga. That is sukhaha kshami is how we are going to say. If I'm going on a fast pace, do not worry, because while we go through the course, I'm going to highlight these things again whenever I come across this in the Sahasranama verses. So coming to the next part, which is sa, sha and sha. There is a difference in the way we pronounce sa, sha and sha. Sometimes because of the regional language influence, we tend to interchange the way we pronounce. Like, sometimes sha is pronounced as sa and sha is pronounced as sha. Okay. So there is a difference. It has to be pronounced as it should be, like sa, sha and sha. For example, when Shiva, sha, the Talavya sha. Sha, that is like Shanmukha, Shanmukha. So if let us look at this verse, the first letter is Sinduraruna sa. Okay. Then in the second line, Taranayaka Shekharam sha, as in Shiva. Then in the third line, this is the third padam, Panibhyamalipurna Ratna Chashakam sha. So there is a difference between sa, sha and sha. Please remember this. We will come across these letters many times during the chanting. Then we have the most important part, Alpa Pranaha and Maha Pranaha. So we saw when I mentioned about the importance of correct pronunciation, we saw the difference it made from Phalam to Palam, Shiva to Shiva, etc. Right? So if we do not pronounce the letters with proper effort, then the meaning tends to change. So what are this Alpa Pranaha and Maha Pranaha? Generally, it is the effort, the prana, the air which we use to pronounce these letters. So Alpa Pranaha are the letters which take less effort or less prana. And Maha Pranaha are which takes more effort. So if we look at these Vargiya Vyanjanani and Avargiya Vyanjanani, I have highlighted the letters in red, which are Maha Pranaksharas, which take more effort, and rest of them are less effort, that is Alpa Pranaha. So let us look at which are the Alpa Prana and Maha Prana. So here the first, third and fifth letter is generally Alpa Pranaksharas. Second and fourth letter is Maha Pranaksharas in Vargiya Vyanjanani. So Ka is a Alpa Pranakshara, Kha is a Maha Pranakshara, G is a Alpa Pranakshara, Gha is a Maha Pranakshara. Similarly, Ch Alpa Pranakshara, Ch, J, Jha, Ta, Tha, Da, Dha, Ta, Tha, Da, Dha, Pa, Pha, Ba, Bha. So you can make out the difference, right? So there is a difference in the way we pronounce. That is less effort for Alpa Pranakshara, more effort for Maha Pranakshara. In Avargiya Vyanjanani, the first four letters are Alpa Pranaksharas, that is Ya, Ra, La and Va. And the last four, that is Sh, Sh, S and Ha, are Maha Pranaksharas. So this is about Alpa Prana and Maha Prana. This is very important. Please remember this. And I will be highlighting this throughout the course, and I'll be telling you these are the Maha Pranaksharas. So which means which has to be chanted with more effort. Example for this, in the first line, the last word, Manikya Maulis Phurat, Pa is a Mahapranakshara. In the second line, this Taranayaka Shekharam. First ka which you are seeing is a Taranayaka Alpaprana. Shekharam, this ka is a Mahapranakshara. Okay. Smita Mukhi Kha Mahapranakshara. Panibhyam, in Panibha is a Mahapranakshara. So we come across this throughout the chanting, and I'll keep highlighting, I'll keep stressing on the importance of these pronunciations. Then we have the Samyuktakshara. Samyuktakshara means the compound letters. So what is a compound letter or a Samyuktakshara? When a Vyanjana and Vyanjana join, it becomes a Samyuktakshara. Why it is important? Because we have to take care to pronounce each letter carefully. So if we look at this example, let's say this third word, Udyad, D and B and A, Udyad Bhanu. So each of this has to be heard clearly. Let's take Pashadhya, D and Ya, Ya and A. So Pashadhya. So everything has to be heard clearly. If we take in the first line itself, Samanvita, N, V and E. All three needs to be clear. So that is the importance of Samyuktaksharam. And as such, any stotram you take will have, especially the first 100 verses, a little complex in Lalita Sahasranama. So it's very important for us to understand this. Then there is another important concept, which is Varnadvitvam. So I'll just give an introduction to Varnadvitvam here, and maybe during the course of the further classes, I will highlight more of this. So what is Varnadvitvam? As the name suggests, Varna means letter. Dvitvam means doubling. So there is a doubling happening here. So doubling of consonants in Samyuktakshara, that is compound letters. The Samyuktakshara is where Vyanjana and Vyanjana are joined. So there is a doubling of consonants which happens in Samyuktaksharas, and that is called as Varnadvitvam. So one example, there are different rules associated to Varnadvitvam. For now, we will just understand one simple example. Let's say when vowel swaraha, which when it is added to any consonant other than R and Ha, and there is no vowel after that, then the first Samyuktakshara gets doubled. Okay. So don't worry if it is difficult at the moment, because I will cover this little more during the upcoming classes. First, let us look at the example. Kameshwara Prema Ratna Mani Pratipanastani. So if you see here, this Kameshwara, Sh and V and A, this is a compound letter, Samyuktakshara. There is Sh, there is V, and then we have A, right? So in this case, this Sh is getting doubled. Kameshwara. So if you listen carefully, you can hear Dvitvam or doubling of this letter Sh. Kameshwara. Similarly, in Prema Ratna, Prema. Okay, here P gets doubled. Kameshwara Prema. Then in Ratna, T gets doubled. Ratna. So this is called as doubling of, or Varnadvitvam, Dvitvam we call it as. So similarly in the second line, the second example you are seeing here, Sanchanna, there is a doubling. Namajjana, there is a doubling of Ja happening. So you will come across this, and the key to this is sometimes, it is not possible to highlight every Dvitvam during the course, because we come across this multiple times. So key to this is listening carefully and repeating. So one request that I will have with all of you is, when after I chant and when the panelists are chanting, when you are, please be on mute and please chant loudly. That is how we learn. Please chant along with the panelists. And of course, at the end of each class, we will spend some time, at least 10 minutes, wherein you can raise your hands to chant, so that you can have a practice. So generally, I use these terms during the course of the sessions. Pada means a quarter of a particular verse. which basically helps us to pause. Sometimes we cannot chant the entire verse in one breath, right? So we should know where to stop, where to take a pause. For instance, in this. So should I stop after Udyat Bhanu or should I stop after Sahasrabha? Where should I pause? So the Udyat Bhanu Sahasrabha, if you see, there are 8 letters here, and this is called as first pada. Chaturbahu Samanvita, second pada. Ragaswarupa Pashadhya, third. Krodhakarangkushojjvala, fourth. So 4 padas. So when I say first pada, it means the first part, Udyat Bhanu Sahasrabha. When I say third pada, it means Ragaswarupa Pashadhya. So pada is, after a pada, we generally take a pause, which helps us to chant easily. Short vowels and long vowels, which is nothing but the hrasvaswaraha and dirghaswaraha, where to prolong and where not to prolong. Alpa pranaha and mahapranaha, that is the letters, the effort which we put in chanting. Varnadvitvam, doubling of consonants and compound letters. Anuswara, like kam. Anunasika, 5th letter of each varga. Visarga, the 2 dots which follow a letter. Jihva muliyaha, we know that after a visarga, if there is a k or kh, then we have upadhvaniya, that is after a visarga, if there is a p or pha. And if there is a visarga, and after which there is a ksha, we chant the complete visarga. So this is typically a very basic level of tips with respect to pronunciation. I usually display this when we talk about pronunciation because it's very important for us to understand the importance. Yadyapi bahunadhishe tathapi pathaputra vyakaranam swajana ma bhoot sakalam shakalam sakrit shakrit. So yadyapi, even though if we do not study many subjects, let us study at least some basic grammar, because swajanaha, shwajanaha, mabhut, which means swajana means our relatives, our own people. Shwajanaha means group of dogs. If by mistake we say swajanaha as shwajanaha, the meaning itself changes. Sakalam means entire, total. Shakalam means one part of it, a fragment. So if instead of pronouncing sa, if I say shakalam, then the meaning is changed. Sakrit, shakrit. Sakrit means at once. Shakrut means cow dung. So if we just, change the way, like sha and sa, or sha and sha, or hrasva and dirgha, alpa prana and mahaprana, the meaning itself will change totally. So for this reason, it's very important for us to follow at least the basic tips related to pronunciation. Having said this, I would also want to assure you that during the upcoming classes, I would be highlighting on most of these aspects. So please do not worry if this has gone on a fast pace today for you, the introduction. And you can also refer to this YouTube link which I have provided here once this gets uploaded to the course page, where there is a detailed tips provided by our scholar Soumya Krishnapur Bhagini on pronunciation. And in any case, I would also be talking about it in detail in the upcoming classes. So with this, let us start with the learning. Before we start, I just wanted to bring your attention to one more thing. So in this course, in the batch 4, we have also provided simple meaning for each of the names which we come across in Lalita Sahasranama. So, and these meanings are taken from the book, which is written by Vidushi Mata Ananta Lakshmi Natarajan, our Guru, Sri Lalita Sahasranama Valihi, and it was published by Sri Vishnu Sahasranama Satsanga. So we have taken the meanings from this book written by our Mata Ananta Lakshmi, and we have tried to provide that on the in the course content, and you will also see it when I display the slides. So while we are doing this, because many of us are interested to understand at the high level what is the meaning of what we are learning. However, this course is more for chanting, and we will not be discussing or will not be getting into the meanings of the Lalita Sahasranama in this particular course. We are going to learn to chant Lalita Sahasranama. So if you are interested, you can also go through various commentaries which are available for Lalita Sahasranama. In the future classes, I will also point out few commentaries which you can go through. So the scope of this course is going to be chanting, learning to chant the Sahasranama correctly. However, you can also look at the meanings which is provided in the course content. Structure of the course, as it was indicated in the beginning, Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we will display the shloka verse in Sanskrit and English with a simple meaning. And the panelists will be repeating after I chant. We will do a pada by pada and then the whole shloka. At the end of the session, we will have a practice time for the attendees, around 10 to 15 minutes, where you will be requested to raise your hands and the names can be called out. I will try to call out as many names as possible, but sometimes due to lack of time, we may have to, I might not be able to call out all the names. So I request you to bear with that. And in the upcoming class, once we complete the class, in the next class, we will try to do a revision. Apart from that, we will also have an in case, for example, you didn't get an opportunity to practice during the regular class. So after few classes, we will have one class dedicated for practice only. So at that time, we will have complete 1 hour for practice where most of you can get an opportunity to chant and practice. So do not worry if I do not call out your name after any session. At the end of the course, we will have an assessment, which is an optional. However, I will request you to look at it more seriously as a Guru Samarpanam. So with this, let us start learning. Let me stop this screen share and reshare. So there is a question from one of the attendees that will this content be available on the course page? The course page, yes, it will be available. So you can refer to it. So I hope you are able to see the screen. Meenakshi Abhirami, you can, Meenakshi Sai Smriti, you can switch on your cameras. So generally, when we start the Lalita Sahasranamam chanting, we do the Nyasaha. So which is the beginning part we do when we chant the complete Sahasranama. However, during this course, I will not be starting with this because we are just going to do it part by part. I'm going to cover only Dhyanam today. So for that reason, I will not start with the Nyasaha. So we will do it once we complete the learning of the Sahasranama and when we are able to chant together. There are some questions. I will try to take it at the end after we finish the Dhyanam because we have 9 minutes. So I want to teach at least one Dhyana Shloka today before we conclude. Before we start chanting in any class, I request all of you, all of us to meditate, visualize Lalita Parameshwari because she has given us this opportunity. She has blessed us to learn this Lalita Sahasranama Stotram, which is a divine stotram. It's a very unique stotram where it gives us immense benefits. So we will just meditate upon Lalitambika for some time, and then we will start the chanting. Shri Matre Namaha. So this is the Dhyana Shloka, the first verse, the first Dhyana Shloka. I'll read this out first. Sinduraruna Vigraham Trinayanam Manikya Maulisphurat Taranayaka Shekharam Smitamukhi Mapina Vakshoruham Panibhyamalipurna Ratna Chashakam Raktotpalam Bibhratim Saumyam Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanam Dhyayet Paramambikam. So if you see in the first line, we have Spurat. Pa is a Mahaprana. Pa is a Mahaprana. Then here Taranayaka Shekhara, Kha is a Mahaprana. Smita Mukhi, Kha is a Mahaprana. Vaksho Ksha, this is Vaksho Ruham. Panibhyam, Bha is a Mahaprana. And then we have Chashakam, this is Sha. Then we have Bibhratim. If you see, we have a Alpaprana Ba and we have a Mahaprana Bha. Bibhratim. B, first one is a Alpaprana, second one is a Bha. Bibhratim. Then we have Ratna Gha. Gha is a Mahaprana. Ghatastha. Tha is a Mahaprana. Dhyayet. Dha is a Mahaprana. So, and we have Didghas in multiple places, which please listen carefully and follow accordingly. And when the panelist is chanting, please chant along with the panelists. Dhyanam. Meenakshi, you can start. Sinduraruna Vigraham.
Sinduraruna Vigraham. Sinduraruna Vigraham.
Trinayanam.
Trinayanam. Trinayanam.
Manikya Maulisphurat.
Manikya Maulisphurat. Manikya Maulisphurat.
Taranayaka Shekharam.
Taranayaka Shekharam. Taranayaka Shekharam.
Smitamukhi Mapina Vakshoruham.
Smitamukhi Mapina Vakshoruham. Smitamukhi Mapina Vakshoruham.
Panibhyamalipurna Ratna Chashakam.
Panibhyamalipurna Ratna Chashakam. Panibhyamalipurna Ratna Chashakam.
Raktotpalam Bibhratim.
Raktotpalam Bibhratim. Raktotpalam Bibhratim.
Saumyam Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanam.
Saumyam Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanam. सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थ रक्तचरणाम्
ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम्
ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम् ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम्
Sai Shruti, you can repeat after me now. Sindhuraruna Vigrahan
सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहान् त्रिनयनाम् सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहान् त्रिनयनाम्
Manikya-maulisphurrat
माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत् माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत्
Taranayakashekharam Smitamukhimapinavakshorruham
तारानायकशेखराम् स्मितमुखीमापीनवक्षोरुहाम् तारानायकशेखराम् स्मितमुखीमापीनवक्षोरुहाम्
पाणिभ्यामलिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीम्
पाणिभ्यामलिपूर्णरत्नचषकम् रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीम् पाणिभ्यामलिपूर्णरत्नचषकम् रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीम्
सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम्
सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरत्नचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम् सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम्
मीनाक्षी सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहान् त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत् तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीमापीनवक्षोरुहाम्
सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहान् त्रिनयनाम् माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत् तारानायकशेखराम् स्मितमुखीमापीनवक्षोरुहाम् सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहान् त्रिनयनाम् माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत् तारानायकशेखराम् स्मितमुखीमापीनवक्षोरुहाम्
पाणिभ्यामलिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीम् सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम्
पाणिभ्यामलिपूर्णरत्नचषकम् रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीम् सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणाम् ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम् पाणिभ्यामलिपूर्णरत्नचषकम् रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीम् सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थ रक्तचरणाम् ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम्
Sai Shruti. सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहान् त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत् तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीमापीनवक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्यामलिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम्।
सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहान् त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौलस्फुरत् तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीमापीनवक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्यामलिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम्। सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहान् त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत् तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीमापीनवक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्यामलिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम्।
Uttamam. So before we conclude the class, just wanted to highlight, if you had noticed, we had Sinduraruna Vigraham Trinayanam. There is an Anuswara followed by Ta. So when we chanted, we replaced the Anuswara with the fifth letter of Tavarga, which is Sinduraruna Vigraham Trinayanam. Replaced. And we took a pause after Trinayanam. We took a pause after Shekharam, and then again after Chashakam, and then in the fourth, that is Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanam, we took a pause. If we had not taken a pause after this Charanam, we can chant this line if we are chanting together. Saumyam Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanam Dhyayet Paramambikam. So even in this case, the Anuswara gets replaced by Na. So, having spoken about so much about the chanting tips, pronunciation tips, my humble request to all of you is the most important prerequisite for this learning or for this chanting of Lalita Sahasranamam is Bhakti and Shraddha. That is the most important prerequisite. If that is there, rest of the things will fall in place. With the blessings of Shri Mata, all the other pronunciation aspects or the remembering, memorization, all this will happen automatically. So the most important prerequisite is Bhakti and Shraddha. So don't worry if in case you are not able to chant perfectly or follow the exact pronunciation in the first class. We will be going in a little more slower mode in the upcoming classes, and we will be doing the revision of this Dhyana Shlokam again in the next class. So with that, we will conclude. Let us do the Mangalam. We will meet on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Look forward to see you all on Tuesday. Let us do the Mangalam. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Triambake Devi Narayani Namostute. Dhanyavadaha. Ananta pranams to all the attendees. Punar Milamaha. I see that there are few questions. I will make note of those questions and I will try to cover those in our next class before we start.